Hey friends, Wayne over here at Ram Man Inc. Don't forget the ink. Hey, I'm going to go over this rear disc kit for Dana 60. Try to cut down on all the, well, that's not true, try to cut down on the phone calls. Poor old Kate gets wore out by. That's a sheet that we send out with all of our products. We're assuming that on most of our products, people have the skills, the common sense, and the logical deduction to solve problems if they may run into problems. You'd be surprised, people calling up, Kate, I got 2 bolts in, but I can't get the other one in. Am I doing something wrong? Do you know what's wrong? No, we're in Texas and they're in Oregon. No, we don't know what's wrong. We not there. And if you can't get the 3rd bolt in, oh my God, maybe you shouldn't be doing that project. I cut this off of Dana 60 over there at the other place. The oldest, nastiest that I could find out of 63. Actually, it's a DW 200, I think that one was. So, this is a rusty old piece of shit. Now, Dana 60s were made by the millions. They were put in different vehicles or whatever. But in general, they're very close. If you run into some little minute differences, I mean, you can just imagine. Not every single casting's the same. Not every single bud hub's the same. There may be 20, 30, 50 thousandths difference on type of assembly. So, first thing you got to do is, of course, you got to take your hub off. And for you folks that haven't pulled one of these parts, normally you got 2 tight big nuts right here. And lock washer in between. These fold over. You'll have to bend them. Reviewing a little bit for the people that have spun wrenches a long time, just so they know what to expect. This by no means is a class. This is not a class. This is to show some super qualified mechanic how to do this really quick. All right, so our brackets go on. I've marked this one the bottom. We came in here and this one's damn rusty. Our pedestals are going to go on here. They're notched, as you can see, so they fit nice and snug right there. This one's rusted. Like I said, it's set up in a field for over 40 years. This is all rusted. We cleaned it up with our little air sander right there, and we did something kind of neat. You can take a big old flat blade file real quick, and if you can file that off flat, and it'll give you a real custom fit. This is only, you can see, it's only about 5 minutes, gang. This ain't no big drawn out, great big old deal. Right? So, here we go. There's our plate. Right here, I got marked on here bottom. These look like they're all the same, but this basically only goes on one way. Everything fits very, very snug. We're the ones that put these kits together and design these. We are not the big box store. We are the people that designed all these products that you see out there. And then those people, they came to us and said, hey, will you do this? Will you prototype this up? Yeah. Them people on the D100s and stuff, they asked me for 5 years. I kept blowing them off, telling them that there wasn't no market. People calling up here for the D100s and stuff, the older ones, begging and pleading. Ram man, why don't you do something? Shit. If I'd known that it exploded like it did. Shit. Yeah. Trucks are hot. Alright, so we're doing this right here in front of you so you get to see. For the people that have been spinning wrenches for a long time, know exactly what they're doing. Just to give them a little heads up, maybe they can do this a little faster. For the old boy that doesn't have any freaking clue what he's doing, maybe this will keep him from calling Kate and saying, I can't get my bolts in. Do you know what's wrong? I think somebody sent me the wrong bolts. Come on, baby. Okay. We have bracket installed, gang. We have ignition. And of course, typically these things are mounted around about, well, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the rear, trailing design out of the debris, just like the factory. Then we have our caliper, and as you guys will all know, these are the late 70s, early 80s wide mouth GM calipers with the emergency brake setup. Of course, in review, both Lincoln and Chrysler. Remember, bleeder needs to go up. That's how our caliper bolts on. For y'all Mopar people that have never messed with a GM pin design, there you go. Make sure your pins are straight when you thread these in. Make sure your pins are straight when you thread these in. Make sure your pins are straight when you thread these in. You strip out your bracket and it's going to bring, you strip out your bracket and it's going to bring more grief to your life. Rest assured, more grief to your life. So, here's your hub. Here's your factory rotor, like used on the 2002 and up. Great big old rotor. This ain't no wimpy setup. This is for the this is big boy stuff now. We put our toys and our models away, and we're in the big league now. I was talking to an old buddy of mine up at Carlisle this year, 2019, and he's friends of one of my really super wealthy clients. 71 Hemis. But anyway, I told him, I said, yeah. I said, we get these people that, you know, they be complaining about the price. So, got to spend $1,000 for a real NOS Hemi master cylinder for a 70 E-body or 71 or whatever. These cars have gone into the millions or whatever. And I tell him about the whiners. He said, Wayne, this guy, he plays music and he's got some money too. Let me show you the Charger. He shows me the 71 that they're doing. $35,000 paint jobs is what he paid. But anyway, he said, Wayne, he said, you know what you tell them people that whine about the price? You tell them to quit fooling with their car, because this is big boy league, and they need to get back in their room building them plastic models. I laughed my ass off. So, there you go. Bleeder up. caliper goes on with pads, of course. Now, so nobody gets lost. That one with the lip goes on the outside. Voila. No, we've had people that couldn't figure out how the pads go on the caliper. We've had people that couldn't figure out how pads went on a caliper. And we put our pins on. No shit. If you can't figure out how to put the pads on a caliper, you should not be doing what you're doing. For the super slow-mos, you should not be doing what you're doing. If you call us up and tell us that you don't know how to get the pads on your caliper, I repeat, you should not be doing what you're doing. God bless you. God bless America. And happy mokbarin, trucking and bogging.